Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy! Welcome to the Ages of Rock Potpourri podcast. We do not have a guest this week. This is episode 380 something, to be more specific, 383. I'm just being a smart ass. Bill's gonna sneeze.
1983. That's when I graduated school.
1983.
Wow.
1983. Awesome. I was 13. But anyway, we got a lot to talk about. We're just gonna kind of talk about some general stuff. And we're going to end the show tonight with our discussion about the Kiss solo albums that celebrated anniversary number 46, I believe. Yes, 46. Yes. But we're going to talk a little bit about Journey, a little bit about our buddy Dave Grohl, and whatever else pops into our minds. So, Dennis, why don't you start?
Well, my in my head, I hear that, you know, the wheels on the bus. Oh,
sorry.
Okay. You don't want me to talk. You just stopped the show. Anyway.
No, I was trying to mute my microphone and I hit the stop recording instead of the mute.
Just leave it in there. Just leave it in there. That'd be funny.
True professionals.
Absolutely. This is 383 episodes, 9 years later.
Anyway, the unshow never ceases to, you know, deliver the great shit. Anyway, so, you know, you have the old song, "The wheels on the bus go round and around." Well, you know what? The wheels on the rock and roll bus have just been falling fucking off lately. I mean, and not in just one band or two bands. It just seems like everybody's just freaking falling apart right now.
Okay, now, before you say anything else, since we're going to be discussing Journey, you got to get a Wheel in the Sky reference in there.
Okay, well, there you go. Well, one of the wheels hit a bump and went to the sky. How's that? Anyway, I don't even know where. I don't even know where to start. Okay, so since I'm wearing,
why don't you start with shirt, Dave? Dave and his whoring around.
Here's the thing about Dave, and you know what? Me and my wife had this conversation last night, and it was fun. I've talked to my friend Michael about the same deal. Am I surprised what happened? No. You know, it doesn't bother me. You know what bothers me is since this album, Wasted Light, Dave has put out nothing that basically makes me interested in listening to the Foo Fighters. They're a great live band, and I know, Alan, we still haven't talked about that concert you saw. But anyway, Dave, to me, the problem is Dave, not himself, but Dave, everybody around him and all the publicity people and the news and all these people has put Dave on this big pedestal. Dave's the nicest guy in rock, and Dave is a nice, you know, he's just Dave. You know, Dave does some good things, but Dave does some bad things too. You know? So it's like, I don't, you know, he's a rock star. That shit gets thrown at him. I mean, the funniest thing that I seen on the internet that just won for me last week was the fact of they showed the picture of the girl that he's supposedly had this affair with, whatever, and birthed the child.
He's a baby daddy.
Right. But she's like this. She's on she's an internet ALT porn something. She does something online porn wise, but she's kind of a chunky girl with tattoos. And you know, his wife's this skinny blonde, looks like a model and everything else. And the comments, there are girls that are like, these other girls are going, man, if I knew he liked, you know, chunky girls with tattoos, I've been after that years ago. So that won me for I sent that to my wife, and I go, that's the funniest comment I've ever seen in my life. But you know what, Dave, make some good music. I don't care what your wiener's doing. I just want you to make some good music. And you haven't
he's trying to find a source. He's trying to get motivated. He's looking for that
motivation
experience that's going to give him
whatever. I don't
know. The word you're looking for is he needs a muse.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Right. Anyway, he put this album out, and then he did that show. What was it? Where he went around to each city, and what was that? We all watched it. It was a documentary where they went around to
Sonic
each
something or other.
Sonic Highways.
Yeah.
And that album was decent. But man, since then you have just put out shit that I don't like to hear. I haven't bought any of those albums since then. And when you go to your concert and you play one of those new songs, Dennis goes to the bathroom or gets a beer.
What I think you're saying is for a while there, he was shooting blanks, but then he had a home run. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying that he was on the top of, he was my favorite guy for a long time. And now he's not my favorite guy. Is it because he just had a kid with this girl? No, it's because he puts out shitty music, and I don't care about his new music anymore. So
Alan, should I say that again slower?
Did I miss something?
You
Completely right over your head, dude. Well, I don't have much hair up here anymore, so it just goes real quick.
You couldn't have caught a whiff, dude. It was.
Anyway,
I thought it was pretty clever. A joke wasted.
I'll have to go back. I have to watch.
No,
don't even say that.
It was not a joke wasted because everybody else will laugh.
I know. I'll listen back and I'll laugh whenever I hear the replay. But anyway, Dave Grohl is Dave Grohl. And the thing is supposedly I've been reading up on this stuff. This has been going on since 2018. He's been hanging with this chick. So this is not like just somebody he found on the road. He's been friends. Hey, people said that they would go to her house, and here's Dave Grohl sitting on the couch.
So she knew.
Probably.
What
happened was
He
not
didn't
Star?
shoot a blank.
It wasn't Star or any else. What was the People magazine actually found this shit out and was getting ready to put a story out. That's why Dave came out to the public and said, here's what's happened. That's why he put that thing out. He didn't do it on his own. This shit's been under wraps, and now People magazine found out about it because I think the girl went to People magazine. She's looking for a little of this, maybe. Who knows? So anyway.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, so Dave Grohl he's making babies and he's still putting out really shitty music. So anyway, what do we want to talk about next? REO.
I don't know. You want to go to REO?
We can go to REO. Did you see that Gary Richrath's son put out a thing today? Did you see that? His little blurb, his little tweet. He says, "What is it? How is it? The band? It's terrible that they can't do a farewell tour because you got this singer who's got a god complex and blah 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 blah." Yeah, he just trashed Kevin Cronin really bad, and I think we'll see after January. We'll probably see Kevin Cronin, the voice of REO Speedwagon, going out on tour.
I think you already see that, right?
Playing it because they do. I mean, seriously.
I mean, that's what it already is. You
Right.
can call it whatever you want. I would say that right now, the REO Speedwagon group or however the royalties are cut or whatever agreement they have is making some money. But in January, that little gravy train may stop.
Right. Well, Bruce was ready to come back, supposedly. The thing is, what's funny is, they talk about Bruce and Kevin being some of the originals. They're not originals.
Well, they are the classic lineup.
They are the classic lineup.
Are they the only classic lineup members still in the band?
Yes. Neil was, when Neil left last year or 2 years ago, the keyboard player, Neil Dowdy, when he left, he was actually the last original person. Original. Gary and Kevin were not originals. They were early, and they've been there for a long time, they wrote a lot of shit, but they're not original. So anyway.
Yeah, when I talk about stuff like that, I always try to make sure that I use the term classic lineup as opposed to original lineup.
Right.
Because I posted something about when Brian and I went and saw ZZ Top and Leonard Skinner. Right. And I made the point that there are no members of the classic lineup left in the band. And someone made the comment about Ricky Medlock, and I'm like, he was an original member, but he was not on any of those early recordings, and he is not a member of the classic lineup.
Right.
So, it's the internet. You have to choose your words wisely, and sometimes that still doesn't matter.
which is sad because, REO, I would, everybody, if you're going to do a fair, you need to do a fair, like everybody else, milk that shit, get some more money, but last time I seen REO was not very good. And like I said, I know you said you've seen him before. We talked about this the other day I think we were texting back and forth or something. When I saw them with Don, it was not Don Henley, but damn it. It was Styx,
How about
REO,
Felder?
Don Felder. Thank you.
Don Felder.
That was not good for his voice that night. And actually, the previous time that I saw them at Ford Center, and they were with Tesla, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know who it was. But anyway, our Tesla maybe opened for them and was REO. But anyway, Kevin's voice, again, wasn't the best it's been. It's been, but you said he was better this year, maybe?
Yeah, I saw him with Train. Yeah, REO opened for Train. There were three bands. I forget who the other person was.
Right. And actually, it was the Review.
Oh yeah, and it was the first.
I wasn't even there.
And I'm going to see them Friday. It was either the first or second show of the tour.
Okay,
so
early on.
Yeah. So yeah, it was really good.
Right,
might have been the first night. I think it was first or second. I can't remember. Which they talked about it, but yeah.
That's kind of like catching Guns N' Roses. If you catch them on the first few nights of a tour, that sounds pretty good. And after that, it's a crapshoot. Hush, Bill.
He'd probably say the first night was probably the shit.
I didn't say anything.
Anyway, you didn't have to say it. Your face said it for you.
We got a lot to talk about. So anyway,
we're still talking about.
So REO, it's sad that Jane's Addiction. Boy, that ended quick.
Been caught fighting once when I was 65.
That's a great video too. I've been watching it.
I've only seen the pictures. I will not watch the video.
Well, the video's not much. He just walks over and pushes him. I mean, it isn't like a big.
No, it was not a big fist fight.
And it lasted like 3 seconds. It wasn't a big deal, but it's just like. The video, there's no like exchange between them or anything. He's just over there playing, and the dude just walks over there.
I think he was. I honestly though, Bill, I think he was playing when he shouldn't have been playing.
Probably something like that.
And the problem is if you notice,
it's Dave Navarro. He just plays whatever he wants to play. But
Farrell has this little, and Alan knows what I'm talking about. He has this little thing on a pole. And he can adjust the stage volume or something, or maybe it's his in-ears or something. But he's trying to control the stage volume. He has hearing issues, and I guess that's why I say his voice is off. But anyway, he's adjusting that, and that's whenever he looks over and looks at him, and then goes over and then kind of there's a little push and shove. Nothing. There's no fight. It's just he's just being a dick. But I think he was playing a lead during when he was supposed to be singing. I don't know. Who knows? But that's the end of that shit.
Well, they all have in-ear monitors, so he should have only been adjusting his own in-ear mix anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So if Navarro's shit was too loud, that's because Perry slid it up to the slider up, the volume slider up too high. So
I guess you've seen today
that ain't on anybody but Perry.
Right. Did you see today that Neil Sean came to Whatchamadoodle's Arnel's, saying that it was, now they're blaming the other band because they had everything locked up where he couldn't change it.
It didn't have anything to do with that. He sounded horrible.
Maybe he couldn't hear himself though. That's
horse shit. He's been singing that stuff for how long?
Yeah, but if you can't hear yourself singing, Bill, I'm going to give him that benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
I will also give him benefit of the doubt. And if he can't hear, if you can't hear the guitars and you're not singing in the same key with the guitars, it throws everything off.
Oh, I guarantee.
And they do sound horrible.
It's bad.
So isn't that the last song of the show?
I don't know.
I think it is, or close to it. So maybe I don't understand this, and Alan, you're a sound guy, that suddenly you can't hear.
Oh, that can happen at any time during a show.
Exactly. His in-ears could have went out. They could have changed something in the mix. They could have changed. Yeah, and you notice whenever he was doing that, he was down in the crowd too. He was off the stage, kind of down, slapping hands.
There's video
like
of him on the stage where it doesn't sound very good either.
Well,
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean,
right.
I just saw video of him on the stage too, where he doesn't sound very good either.
You know, Journey just had another fucking story of drama.
That band
it's just those guys need to hang it. They need to hang it up. I mean,
I wish I had an American Express with $1 million credit limit that I could max out.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
One that's shared by the band that you just max it out because you're just an asshole, and then you blame the other guy for it when it's actually you're the one that did it.
But everybody's, I mean, Uriah Heep now they're going out on their final tour, which I didn't know they were still even touring. But
yeah, well, that's probably a gift.
I mean, I think that they, like all the other ones, they have one original member left, and it's like
that's what I'm thinking too.
Something. But my friend Bob did go see that Uriah Heep show, and he said for a bunch of old guys that they put on a really, really good show.
Well, I'm sure they did.
Cool.
But anyway,
good deal.
Who else has completely went off the rails this week?
I don't know. I think that's we have to call this episode rockers that go crazy or lose their shit or something.
Oasis hasn't gone off the rails yet, but then again, their tour hasn't started.
Yeah, that's just we should just take bets on that one.
It's going to be they're probably going to be the one band who sticks together, makes a shit ton of money.
How does that band make any money anyway?
I know one song. One song.
They've got 3 songs.
They got one song to me.
They've got Champagne Supernova. They've got Wonderwall, and they've got that other song that I can't think of the name of it now. But those 3 songs are in every fucking 90s movie there is.
Okay.
So I know between the royalties they get from the radio, the royalties they get from the movies,
right,
and they're going to make a killing because it's a 90s novelty, blah blah blah,
right.
But I'm going to be the conspiracy theorist and say that this whole brothers feud has been played all along so that they could go out and make $1 billion on their "We Got Back Together" tour.
Okay, so the 3 top songs is Wonderwall. Actually, Champagne Supernova is number 5. Don't Look Back in Anger.
That's the one I couldn't think of.
Stop Crying Your Heart Out. Have you heard that one?
I've probably heard it, but I don't remember.
And then Live Forever. I don't know that one either. But Champagne Supernova is actually number 5. Wonderwall's number 1. Anyway.
Well, I think hopefully that'll come to Ruoff next year, and that can be my one of the ones I get to stay home for.
You're not even going to go.
God, no, I'm not
you
going
can see
to that.
a fight. It could be like the night when they just completely
that.
Lose it. Somebody shoot somebody or something.
No, that is not happening.
All right, man. I sure wish I lived closer. I was close as you because I'd be buying them tickets and going to. I've been sitting around being sad because you guys are Alan hit a few of them, but you're hitting all the. I know every one of them are midweek. I can't get up there during the week. It's just too damn far. With the hour change, it's just hard to do. So,
well, you live too far away, dude.
I know we do.
You need to move.
I'm not fucking moving to Indianapolis. So,
well, then shut up. I mean, there's your options.
All right. Anyway, any other bands we want to fucking talk about that's going off the rails?
I don't think there is any.
I was going to miss it.
I'm sure there probably are, but
I'm sure there is.
Well, since we were on here last, Jack Russell passed away.
He did. I saw that.
I think that was since we were on here last. I don't think we talked about that before. Somebody that I always wanted to get
last general chat session.
Yeah, somebody I always wanted to get on the show, but could never get it worked out. We had Mark on once, but never could get Jack to work out. So
speaking of Jack Russell, did you watch the show yet? The 80s documentary. The Jack Russell story he told was fucking hilarious.
And that's why Jack Russell's not with us
Was that the one with the drugs and the weave? Oh
yeah,
no, Jack told.
Oh yeah, Jack told that story. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rod and I sat out in the garage and watched that on my iPad on one day, Sunday, or Saturday. It was on the day we were sitting around drinking some beer, and we started watching that. And it was amusing. I wish it would have been a little longer. It was kind of cut up. I was expecting a little more out of it, but yeah, listened to Jack talk about those stories, and he was just honest as hell. I mean, he didn't give a shit. It's like, yeah, this is the way it happened.
Well, I think that was just one episode, right? Because it's multiple episodes.
No,
there's
more
more coming.
episodes.
Yeah, there's 3 episodes.
Oh, there is. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not just one thing.
Okay, well then I won't bitch about it being too short because I thought it was just one.
You know,
you're used to hearing
We've talked to your wife.
I'll take that one. That's good.
That's what she said.
Okay.
So are we ready to start talking concerts?
Yeah, let's talk some shows.
I'm gonna
you shut up
because I have nothing. I have zip.
Well, this is how long it's been since we have talked about concerts because Brian and I went and saw ZZ Top and Leonard Skinner, I think back in May. I mean, it was late spring or early summer when we went and saw that show. The last time I saw ZZ Top, I was really, really disappointed, because it was like they were phoning it in and walking on treadmills, and it was such a boring stage show. But this was the first time I'd seen them since Dusty passed away, and Elwood comes out with the big bass guitar with 28 strings. I don't know how many strings are on it, but
there's a lot.
Very first song of the night, wails on that for a little bit. Plays on the top, plays on the bottom, or if you're a guitar player, the top is the bottom, and it's all backwards. But they put on a really, really good show, and I was really impressed with Leonard Skinner tribute band. the one that has no classic members in it.
Yep.
But they did a really, really good job. They played some stuff that you normally, I guess, I hadn't heard them play live before. And then one of our early on guests, Damon Johnson, was on, is in Leonard Skinner now.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
And then I guess one of the highlights is close to the end of the show. Billy Gibbons come back out, and he jammed us. I don't remember what song it was. I've slept since then, but they come out and did kind of an extended jam. That was really cool.
And that was when was that? That's been a.
I think it was. I want to say that it was in May. I know Brian will correct me.
Say it's been a while.
I'm pretty sure that it was really close to the time that Brian and I went and saw Judas Priest and Sabaton.
Okay.
Which that was a really, really good show too. And I had forgotten how cool it was to be that close to the stage because we were 4th row center.
That's cool.
Wow.
And we were close enough that Richie Faulkner looked at Brian, got his attention, and threw a pick at him, and just nailed him right in the chest. It was so cool.
Nice. What's the Fast Times at Ridgemont High quote? You were so close to the band you could scare them.
It's been so many years since I've seen
that. I don't know. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I got you tickets so close to the band you could scare them.
Okay,
what's his name? Damone.
Yeah. Damone. Yeah, it's Damone.
I saw a thing today, Booger, real quick. You remember Booger?
Yeah.
Booger's 70 years old. Can you fucking believe that?
Yeah.
He was like 30 when he played these teenagers.
Considering that I was like 10 when those movies come out.
Well, and it just like was Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
He's a Karate Kid. He's actually like 27. He's playing an 18-year-old. He's like 10 years older.
Yeah.
But anyway, Booger same way. Anyway,
that's funny.
I regress.
What do you got, Bill?
Oh gosh,
you got a bunch of shit.
Well, Bill and I actually saw 3 shows this summer together because
we did.
I went in on a lawn pass and
there you go.
Totally got so busy this summer that I only got to see 2 shows with my lawn pass. I did have paid seats for Soul Asylum, Live, and Stone Temple Pilots. But we'll get to that.
Right.
Yep. So I had a lawn pass too, so Alan can hold his lawn pass back up, but mine has my name on it, not his.
Yours is probably worn out though.
Mine's got some wear and tear on it. Mine's not in as good a shape as Alan's is. I think I made it to
mint condition.
Yeah, there you go. Mine is not. I think mine's got 14 shows, I think is what mine has on it. So of all different kinds. I'll just give you the rundown. I'll give you the rundown.
Out of possible, how many was it though?
I don't know.
Oh, there was a shit ton of shows.
Yeah, I didn't go see.
There was a
Kids
show
Bop,
almost every
Meghan
night this
Trainor.
summer.
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking. Was it so basically any show that was at Ruhoff? You had a
Right,
It's not basically any show that's there. Kids Bop was not included though.
Okay,
I was
so
gonna say,
because they don't have a lawn. They don't have a lawn. They don't have
Okay.
lawns for the kids show for the Kids Bop show.
Because it used to be there were specific shows when they first started offering these passes, wasn't it? Though they were like there were some that were not included.
It depends. They do still block shows on occasionally. It depends on what it is. Like this year, that was the only show that was blocked.
Okay.
The last year the only show that was blocked was Farm Aid because that's a fundraiser thing. So they're not going to. You need the ticket money goes there. The year before that, there was somebody that was a blocked show, but it didn't matter. It wasn't anybody I cared about. But
Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, it could be Dave and Fish can come every day.
Here, I'll give you an extra $20 if I don't have to go to Dave Matthews.
Stay home if I paid my $20.
Give it to charity.
Yeah. But we went to a bunch of shows that were sold out, a lot of shows that were records. So you're going to get, I mean, some of this is country stuff, so just going to have to play along, Dennis, and act like you care. So Hardy was the first show. That was the show that kicked off the season. That's the first show that I went to. Great show. Very impressed. It was packed to the gills.
Kelly loves him.
Yeah. Next show is Kenny Chesney. It's like watching, Jimmy Buffett as a concert. I mean, and as a country guy. Train with REO Speedwagon for sure. It was a great show. Brett Michaels, and it was Brett Michaels, Don Felder, Lou Graham, and Dee Snider.
Wow.
And it was a great show.
Gras.
I mean, it was Party Gras.
I would love to have went to that.
I'd have loved to have seen that.
Again, tickets they didn't sell very many tickets. You could buy, we upgraded our lawn seats for $20 and we were sitting about 15 rows back on the side. So they weren't bad at all. But the guy sitting behind us, one row behind us, paid $1.25.
Wow.
For his ticket.
so out of the shows, I mean, I could ask you this afterwards, but off the top of your head, how many of the shows that you went to did you end up upgrading to the seats?
One.
Oh, just one. Okay.
Yeah, because
we did it with Train. We went and saw Who that time. We were actually able to get seats at the last.
There's some shows you can do that with, but most of the time they were sold out or they weren't. It wasn't worth the $20 to move.
Sure.
So Train, Brett Michaels, Red Hot Chili Peppers, great show. Horrible, absolutely the worst opener I've ever seen in my life. It was a Japanese female punk band. And they normally have a rapper, but he already had a commitment, so that was the only show they did, and that's probably the best thing that could ever happen to them because it was absolutely. I even told Alex that if I ever had to listen to this band again, I would rather go see Dave Matthews.
Wow, that's
the
terrible.
band wasn't like called Milk Banana or something like that, was it?
It had some weird name. I don't know what it was. I don't know. It was horrific.
Yeah, the one time that I saw Tool, there was a Japanese punk band that opened, and I think their name was Milk Banana or something weird like that.
No, it wasn't that. It had a weird name. It had like a bullock. It was I don't know.
Yeah.
If I figure it out, I'll let you know because you might want to listen to it someday. Never.
I won't.
Don't ever listen to it. But Red Hot Chili Peppers are really good. It was definitely worth it.
Kelly would have loved to see that.
Flea is the only person that talks. Anthony Kiedis doesn't say a word.
Right.
Doesn't talk at all to anybody.
That's not a bad thing.
Very personal.
I didn't say it was a bad thing. Just said he doesn't say a word. I was like, but they just ran through the set list, man. Played a lot of stuff. Then there's a Foreigner Stick show with and I don't who else was there. I know you were there. Who was the other? There was another band.
What?
Foreigner Sticks and somebody else.
Was that no? Loverboy was with Sammy Hagar.
Yeah, Loverboy was with them last year.
That must have been how good that other band was because I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was.
I don't remember there being a third band.
Yeah, I think there was a third band because there was somebody that opened. I can't remember. Anyway, that's the band. That's the night that
it was probably a really good show. We both just drank too much.
Maybe. We had designated drivers, so we participated in the libations.
Was it Fire Bill?
No. But we had a great time. Actually, it was pretty good. It was a pretty good set from both the bands. Then I went to see Creed, that was a great show.
Was it?
And I'm trying to think who else it was. It was Creed and Three Doors Down and somebody else. And it was really good. Very good show. Definitely would go see that again. Then we went to see the Doobie Brothers. I forget who opened for the Doobie Brothers, but the Doobie Brothers show was
I was supposed to go to that show, actually. I was supposed to go to that, and the guy Pierre, who was going to go with us, he ended up, it was the weekend they were going to Switzerland, so they didn't get to go. Sorry.
Yeah, he was probably
Alan,
he was better off.
Alan, you're muted.
It was John Waite.
Oh, yeah, John Waite.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to see
that. Laura and
show.
I had saw John Waite like 2 months before that. Yeah. We saw him here in Evansville at the Victory.
Yeah. Right. Did you like that show?
I did. I like
he was good. Yeah,
I want to see John Waite.
Yeah. But Creed, the Doobie Brothers, they did a part in the middle where they did some, I don't know where the music was from, what years it was from, but it was, I about fell asleep, literally.
Who was with the Doobies that night? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Because he told me who it was, and I was like going,
it was John. It was John Waite.
You're right. It was John Waite and Doobie Brothers. Yeah. Because I wanted to go see that, and he at the last minute we were planning on going, and he called me the week before. He says, "Dude, that's a week we're leaving." I thought it was the weekend after, so we couldn't go. So anyway.
Yep. Then we went to see Imagine Dragons, which I was very impressed with. Stage show was cool. Lighting stuff was really cool. Mm-hmm. The amazing thing about that was there were a lot of kids there, like 8, really 9, kids. 10 year olds, some younger. Couldn't figure out why till Alex looked at me and goes, Dad, I'm 27 and I got into them when I was in middle school. Right. And I'm like, oh, so these dragons. Are people, these are parents bringing their kids. So there you go. But it was a really good show. Then we went to see Sammy Hagar, which was really good. They got rained. That was a rain show.
Now, me and 2 of my Dance Floor Killers bandmates went to that show. And did you see when he was singing Eagles Fly when the lightning struck behind? That was, if anybody could have got a picture of that could have been an award-winning photo. But as soon as that happened, we turned around and left because we had already been shuffled off into safety shelters once. Yeah. And we were all like, nah, we ain't getting caught in this traffic. Yeah. And it pissed and poured all the way home. We were on 60. Now, we actually went to Waffle House up near Fisher's before we came back.
Right.
And it took us at least an hour. It was probably longer than that. But it took at least an hour once we got on 465 off of 69 to get back down to where we could go because there was a wreck at one of the exits.
Yep.
And it was terrible.
It was terrible. Yep. That was Michael.
Now, you're getting ready to say it. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Let's say Michael Goad, or did I say that right?
You did.
Yeah. Joined us for that show too. He was there for. Did he come with you guys? He came separately from you guys.
He came separately. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he stayed over.
Because he stayed over the next day for the Alice Cooper.
He hung out with us for the Alice Cooper.
I thought you were going to talk about Michael Anthony. That was a highlight for me.
So does Michael live in Newburgh?
Yes.
Because I was at China Village. I was at China Village the other day, and he was there.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there going, I know this guy. I couldn't think of it. And then I go, he's a Facebook friend. And then I got off the car and I went, oh, it was Michael Gold.
So, Michael Anthony, Michael. The highlight for me was him singing Ain't Talking About Love. That was
good.
I thought that was really
cool. He's done that before, though. That's one song he has. I've seen him do that.
That is
online.
And now what is kind of humorous to me is I saw Chickenfoot at Rocklahoma, and for whatever reason, Chad Smith couldn't be there. So Kenny Aronoff filled in on the drums.
So it was the same show.
It was the same band because Jason Bonham was supposed to be on this tour, but Jason had a family emergency. He had to go back to England. So Kenny Aronoff filled in the last 3 or 4 shows. So essentially, I saw Chickenfoot twice. But they did play 2 different set lists. So that was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was definitely different than the last time I saw him. So that was a good thing.
Right.
It was a good show.
Right.
Let's see. Oh, then the next night was Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper.
Right.
Unfortunately, it wasn't Alice Cooper with Rob Zombie. I wish it would have been that way, but but it wasn't.
Got a short Coop show, and then
Got a short Coop show. Not terribly short, but definitely not the theatrics and stuff like that.
He's still entertaining as fuck, though.
Yeah, it was a great show. Great show.
Great.
Oh, and whenever he did the Alice for President thing,
Right.
people just went bananas. I mean, it was
I want to be elected.
Yeah, I thought the place was going to explode.
I love that song.
Yep. Then I went to see
saw him do that in Germany and fly around a German flag. That was really cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Supposedly,
really cool.
John Lennon came they were recording something at the same time. And John Lennon came into the studio when they were recording that song and told Alice that was his favorite song that Alice ever recorded. He just loved that song. He thought it was so cool. So
could be
a little blurb.
Could be.
They were drinking buddies.
Yeah, they were. So anyway,
and then I went to see Post Malone on which just that was I was amazed. Else. It was something else. Definitely was something else.
Good.
It was worth every penny that I spent on that.
He is a lot more talented than people who don't know him will give him credit for.
For sure. Have a whole new respect.
Right. Well, I had a thing. Did you see the thing where he played, was it a bunch of Nirvana songs with some buddies? Did you ever see that on YouTube?
No. Nope. I saw him do some Ozzy stuff.
Well, it was like, maybe it was during COVID or something, but they did something where his friends got together and they did a bunch of Nirvana songs. And he's playing guitar and singing. And I'm like going, God damn, dude. I didn't realize you were.
He can sing. The dude can sing.
I mean, he could really sing. I mean, not like the bullshit that you hear. But I'm like going, damn. And I'm like you. I gained a little bit more respect for the guy. After I saw that, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, he did
rocker.
He did mostly. I think he did the first 10 songs were country songs. Then he did some of his other stuff. Then he came back to the country songs. But instead of having which I expected them to have videos with the artists, because that whole country record is all duets. So or guests or whatever. But he had none of that. So it was all just him doing all of it, which was cool. Then the last one I had planned to go to was Daughtry, Breaking Benjamin, and Stained. Daughtry's vocals were so poorly mixed you couldn't understand anything he said. It was loud and screechy, and it was horrible. It got better by about the third song. Breaking Benjamin's set list was fine, and then Stained came out, and they had the same problem that Daughtry had. And I stayed for 2 songs and then went, I'm out because I was tired, and
you don't want
I'm not going to sit around and Stained is somebody that's okay, but I really wanted to see Breaking Benjamin again. And then I wasn't going to go see Stone Temple Pilots, but somebody sent me a text message and said, hey, just want to let you know, if you're available, I've got an extra pavilion seat. And I'm like, well, sure, I'll just drive back from Evansville and switch my cars and meet you up there. So Alan and I went to see Stone Temple Pilots. So that's been it for a while. And so I had 3 shows in 4 days. And in the middle of that was our 40th class reunion.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
So I was wore out, to be honest with you. Monday I get to work. Everybody goes, how was your weekend? I'm like, I can't function. I don't know. I really don't know.
The Soul, it was Soul Asylum and Live and Stone Temple Pilots. And I had never seen Soul Asylum, so that was pretty cool. And I thought, actually, all 3 bands did a
really good show.
Really good job. Great. There was only one disappointing aspect of that thing to me, and it's only because I wasn't paying attention. This year was the 30th anniversary of the album Purple, so they did the whole Purple album and then 4 songs from the core album, and that was the show. So when they started playing Plush, me and Bill both bolted. And I made it home in record time because I was home before 1 o'clock.
Well, on a Sunday night, there's not a lot of people hanging out up there, so you don't have to
but I got out of there before all the traffic got out.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it was when we went to that Kiss show up there. We got out so quick. That wasn't even at Ruloff. That was there, in town. At whatchamajiggle. But anyway,
But honestly, I really liked Soul Asylum. And they did it the right way. They played a new song and then told everybody it was a new song.
That's a way to get around that.
But
Yeah.
live
Good shit.
also live also performed a new song, but it was pretty good.
Yeah,
Right.
You know,
I agree.
Cool.
and I will Stone Temple Pilots and Live both had good video displays behind
Yes.
them. However, Live wins because I don't know how they decided to do it because I think they were flip-flopping who was closing each night. But whoever was mixing the video did a really good job of blending the live band in with the imagery in the background.
Right.
It really, really looks so cool.
Cool.
And I know we saw the show on Sunday, and on Tuesday night there was a live stream, or it wasn't a live stream, but there was a pay-per-view stream for it, I guess, or whatever. And the stream was the Noblesville show.
No, really.
Because my
That's
friend
cool.
Rich was telling me, "Hey, I saw your show."
That's cool.
Cool.
Yeah. So I was pretty pumped to get to see live. I was supposed to see them at Rocklahoma when they were supposed to fill in for Soundgarden because that was a few days after Chris Cornell passed away,
Right.
you know, and then those terrible storms come through and that second day of those shows all got canceled. So I missed out
Right.
on getting to see live. So happy I finally got to see him. I probably never get to see him again. Not going to go out of my way to see him again. Once was enough.
I had tickets for the opening EPO IMSA Orchestra last night or Saturday night, and we actually didn't even go. We didn't even use our tickets. We did a yard sale, and we've been up since 4 a.m. And I looked at Kelly. I said, "You know what? I'd rather just not go tonight." So we went and ate Mexican and come home and went to bed. I do have tickets for Night Ranger.
Hey,
Oh, cool.
I finally
So do
get to see Night Ranger.
So do I.
Friend of mine hooked us up with some tickets, so we're gonna go with them. We're gonna go out to dinner and then go see. I have been wanting to see Night Ranger since day one, and I've never been able to see him.
I have tickets to see 38 Special
I like to see 38 Special
coming up. I can't remember when that is though.
I've got tickets for Night Ranger and Thomas Rhett. I'm taking
There
Laura
you
to
go.
see Thomas Rhett
There you go.
at Ruoff in Noblesville in 2025.
Well, I gotta get tickets now for I guess Metallica's doing that 2-night show in Nashville in May.
Are you going to go to both nights?
No, we'll probably go to one. We'll probably go to Saturday.
You gotta go to
They're
both
playing
nights.
God damn it! I don't.
It's not the same set. It's a completely different set list.
I don't want to see him the first time.
Well, then why are you going?
Because Kelly wants to go. I'm taking her.
Oh,
And I didn't take her the last time, so I'm taking her this time. She's getting.
Yeah.
I might get both shows. Who knows? Anyway, all right. Are we done?
Let's talk about
I'm
the
betting you get both
Kiss
shows.
solo albums.
Yeah, let's get to that. So
Let's
anyway,
get to that.
so what you say was 46 years? I'm not even gonna. I'm not doing any math tonight. So
Well, they came out in 78 and this is 2024, so
right.
46 years sounds correct.
46 years. Okay. So here, I mean, and this has already been done by some other people. So yada yada yada. But we had this idea like a month ago, but we're lazy.
It doesn't matter.
I know. I don't give a shit. Anyway, so my idea was instead of putting the solo albums out, what if everybody brought to the table the songs that are on these albums, and then they put together an album. I didn't make a name for mine. I didn't think of the design for it. I didn't get a producer. Didn't do all that. Maybe you guys did. I'm a little lazy.
You want to know the name of my album?
What is your name?
Big Al's Best of the 1978 Kiss solo albums.
They'd be like, what the fuck is that?
That's an awful long name for an album.
And actually I did put a Spotify list up and so I can send it to you, but mine's the Kiss solo fantasy. That's what I'm calling it. Anyway. So, and there was no, and Bill sent me a little thing today. What are the rules? There's no rules, Bill. Just
that's all right.
I got 10. No, I'm glad you asked because I didn't make any rules this time. I just said 10 to 11 songs. I made mine 11 songs. It's 40 minutes long. I did put them in order. I did, and I listened. I added one song today that wasn't on the list. I took one out, and I actually made another change in the where it's way it sits just a while ago because it didn't flow right. Anyway, so
Whoa, who gives a shit about how an album flows?
No, Bill does. He needs an opener, a closer. You don't want it to die in the middle. All right. So how do we want to do this? How do we want to go?
The way I put mine together, basically in the order of the songs, in the order that I like them.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to talk about mine in reverse order.
Okay.
So you're going to start with 10 or 11?
Alan, why don't you go first?
I did. Do you want me to just do all of mine, or we just going to
do all? Let's just that way we don't jump on each other. You go through your list. You tell me why and whatever and blah blah.
Okay.
We'll go from there.
Well, I did 10 songs, and it's about 30. My playlist is about 33 minutes long. That's kind of a tribute to Van Halen there.
It's a Van Halen record.
But I kind of surprised myself because I haven't listened to the solo albums in a long time, and I always thought that I liked Ace's solo album better than anybody else's. But today I discovered I really like Gene's the most. I know. But my number 10 song I picked, that's the kind of sugar Papa likes because it's one of the 2 or 3 songs on Peter's solo album that I can stomach.
Tolerate.
But when I was a teenager, I had
a nicer way to say that.
I had this on 33, and I listened to it all the time. Yeah. So I can't say that I completely disliked the album. I just kind of outgrew it, I guess. Yeah. My number 9 is What's on Your Mind by Ace. My number 8 is See You in Your Dreams by Gene because I really like the way he re-recorded it. It's kind of the same, but it's still different. Number 7, Man of a Thousand Faces. Number 6, because I love the Beatles, See You Tonight. Number 5, Burning Up with Fever. Number 4, Paul Stanley Gets Up in Here with Move On. Number 3, Wouldn't You Like to Know Me? Because once upon a time, I was in a band that actually played that song on stage once. Once.
Really? That's interesting.
But once is better than 0. My number 2 on that list is Radioactive. And if I could change anything, I would take that stupid intro, that minute-long intro and all them clown noises out at the beginning because this ain't Psycho Circus, damn it. And my number 1 is Rip It Out.
Good deal.
It is.
Decent. Pretty close.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Mr. Bill, you do the
same. All right.
same.
So I got 11. I don't have a title.
Okay.
My goal was to try to be inclusive of all 3, or of all 4 records. So we'll give it a shot here. So number 11 I have as Rock Me Baby, off of Peter Criss's record. Number 10 is See You in Your Dreams off Mr. Gene Simmons' record. Number 9, we switch back to Peter, which is You Matter to Me. And that way we don't have to talk about Peter anymore. It's just we're done. All right. Number 8, I have Wouldn't You Like to Know Me by Paul Stanley. Number 7 is New York Groove by Where did number 6 go?
Oh, hold on, Bill. Bill, you stalled out when you said New York Groove.
Oh, it says your internet
you froze
unstable.
Yeah.
All right, maybe I bumped something on my.
Go back to where you said New York Groove.
Okay. Oh yeah. So that was number 7 was New York Groove. So number 6 is trying to find the 6. That's the problem. Is True Confessions by Gene Simmons. Number 5 is I'm in Need of Love by Ace Frehley. Number 4 is what happened to number 4? I'm not sure what happened to number 4. Oh, there's number 4. Number 4 is Move On. Number 3 is Radioactive. Number 2 is Love in Chains, Paul Stanley. And number 1 is Rip It Out by Ace Frehley.
There you go. All right.
And I found out that I think when I listened to him, I just listened to bits and pieces of it today, but I found out that I think Ace Frehley's record is the best record of the four, in my opinion. I was hooked on Paul's being the best record forever, and now I think I really like Ace's.
So. I flip flop the same way, and I flip flop with Gene and Peters also. It's one flops to the best, and then one flops to the worst. Yeah. It just, and that hasn't changed for a long time.
Does that depend on how many beers you've had?
No, probably. It really doesn't. Doesn't really. Okay, so here's what I did. I put together a whole album, and like with Bill, I need to make sure that it flows good. It has come in hard. You can't have any low spots. I'm going to, because of the time when this was put out, this was put out because Ace felt like that he wasn't, getting him and Peter both weren't getting what they needed. So let's just do all solo albums. Well, I didn't give Gene a lot of love on this album whatsoever. I gave Paul, but I gave Ace. Actually, Ace has 1, 2, 3. Peter has 2. So, it's more than a normal album. I excluded New York Groove because I don't care if that was a hit or not. I fucking hate that song. I've hated it. It was a skipper from the day that I bought that album, and I don't listen to it. I just hate that song. Okay. So anyway, the album opens up with "Tonight You Belong to Me," a great Kiss song. Paul was more true to Kiss than anybody in these solo albums, and that has that intro, kind of that, it's got that build up, boom, and it hits you out. Then I'm going to throw a little bit of "Rip It Out" right afterwards. That's going to now you're hooked into this thing. Now, third is the one that I added just today, was "Burning Up with Fever." Now, I take out that fucking intro. That intro sucks balls, just like you were talking about the other song. It's got the bad intro. And I want to hear what it would sound like taking out all the girl vocals in the chorus, having Paul singing backup to it. See, these songs are going to change. If it wasn't a solo album, they're going to have all these people coming in doing the things that Kiss did. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They're going to be different. So yeah. I think Burning Up with Fever has a Rock and Roll Over.
Yeah, it's a good song.
It sounds like something off Rock and Roll Over. His vocal wise and the way he wrote it. It's just when you get that female vocals in there, it's like, anyway. Then I'm going to slow her down with "Easy Thing." I think "Easy Thing" is a pretty decent song by Peter. It's a little acoustic, a little ditty, kind of whatever thing. Right afterwards, we're going to put "Wouldn't You Like to Know Me" by Paul Stanley. That's going to bring shit back up and going again. Then, of course, I'm like you guys. I'm going to put "See You Tonight." I think that's kind of a Beatlesque song by Gene. I love "Always Near You, Nowhere to Hide," except for the ending of that song, and it's so orchestrated. It'd be a pain in the ass to put on this album, even though it's my favorite. So that one was off. Then I'm going to throw Peter back in again with "That's the Kind of Sugar Papa Likes." I think that song done with all the members of Kiss would be a pretty decent song. Then we're going to go into "Speeding Back to My Baby" with Ace Frehley. And then I'm going to throw "Ain't Quite Right" by Paul Stanley in there. I want to hear Ace kind of play those little bluesy kind of. I've always liked that song, and that's Bruce Kulick playing those guitar licks. And I think Paul says he played a bunch of them, but it'd be interesting to hear Ace's version of that. And then we're going to go from
Bruce or Bob that played those.
Bob, I'm sorry, Bob Kulick. Did I say Bruce?
You did.
Okay, well, thank you.
You did. I just wanted to make sure somebody.
No, it is. It was Bruce. It was Bruce. Anyway, I meant it was a Kulick.
No, it was Bob. You said it was Bruce Bob. Again.
I know. And then from there, we're going to go to "Snowblind," and then we're going to end up with, what other song would you put on here? "Goodbye."
I'm going
to steal the cheap trick.
I really thought about that.
If we just had a song called "Hello," I'd have had that at the very beginning. But "Goodbye," what a great song to end that out with. So it's a Paul heavy album, but Ace is up there too. Like I said, I'm not giving Gene a lot of love. I don't. "Burning Up Fever" needs work. See You Tonight is great. And I'm like you. I like Mr. Make Believe a lot too, but I just couldn't put, and I would put the sulfur, that's just that sulfur side of Gene that I love, but it's not a Kiss album. So.
Well, it wasn't supposed to be.
And here's the other thing I would do. If I was these guys and Peter brought me these lists of songs, I would say, Peter, these are great songs for a solo album. Wink, wink. But let's write one more. I want you to do in a little bit. Let's more of this. Let's think of more like Baby Driver. Let's just think a little bit more Kiss wise. I know you like the jazz, you like this stuff. See if maybe he could have brought something else in, but give him the opportunity to bring something in. That's what these solo albums were all about, because Ace and Peter felt like they weren't getting their cut and their chances.
Yeah, I just wonder what Paul and Gene's reaction were when they heard Aces.
I bet they went, "Oh, shit!"
What their true reaction was, not what was put in the press, not what was whatever, but what did they really think when they heard that record?
If you asked me that question, I would say that I would think that they did this to basically give him an opportunity to do this, but knowing that probably Ace is going to go out, he's going to just get all fucked up, drunk and drugged up. He's going to come back with a piece of shit. And he brought this thing back, and they're like, one fuck.
That's what I think happened.
But I think he blew his load on that fucking record, because everything after that, Todd Howarth wrote, the second Fraley's Comets bullshit. He wrote a lot of those songs, because Ace was out. Ace was out of ideas. He done shot his shit. So,
well, now you got 10,000 volts.
But I think that Ace and, or I'm sorry, I think that Peter and Paul, or I'm sorry, Gene and Paul. I think that Gene and Paul both went, oh shit, when he came back. And we've got somebody to deal with at this point, because he's actually wrote some pretty decent shit.
Can we write this in his contract that he can't put this out?
He can't produce it. So I have some. Go ahead. No, are we about finished with this?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so I got a couple things I want to share with you guys that I don't know if you've ever seen, but it's kind of interesting. So I've got I'm going to take it out of this because. So this is a Coin Management sent this record out. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Right.
But this is songs that were distributed to the radio stations.
Oh, cool.
Off the solo records. So I'll just let you know what songs are on here compared to what we picked.
So is this the same record that they put out that was basically the best of the solo albums?
No, there's a best of solo albums that's in Germany, and I have that too.
Okay. So
it's different. I haven't looked at it at all, except for pulling it off the shelf.
Gotcha.
So I don't know what they are. Okay.
He didn't want to be influenced.
Yes. So I've not been influenced. Okay. And we'll see how many are actually on our lists. How's that?
That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah. So Peter, Chris, they have two songs. Don't You Let Me Down and You Matter to Me. I don't think either one of those made our list, did they?
You Matter to Me.
That was on my list.
Was
made it on mine.
Because that's a real poppy song, isn't it? It's like super poppy. Okay.
For Peter, it's New York Groove and Fractured Mirror.
How about Ace?
Sorry, yeah, whatever. Yeah,
he's got he's got Dennis-itis now, and now he's froze. There you go.
Am I frozen still?
You're back. You're back.
All right. Do we need to read it again?
Maybe
the Ace stuff.
Did you read the Ace stuff?
I tried to read the Ace stuff.
Okay, we heard that. New York Groove and Fractured Mirror.
Okay, so I'm gonna flip it. All right. So Gene Simmons is See You Tonight and Radioactive.
Okay.
I had that one.
I think
both
that
of those.
I had See You Tonight.
Yeah.
I had See You Tonight. And
I had Radioactive. And then Paul is Hold Me, Touch Me, and Take Me Away together as one.
See, I like Take Me Away, but I don't like Hold Me, Touch Me at all.
I like Hold Me, Touch Me.
It's just too poppy. It's just way too poppy.
It's
Did you say Homie Touched Me?
Hold me, touch me.
This isn't a P. Diddy show.
You know what?
Hold me,
Diddy. Let me see if I can get this right. So today, this is music. This is music related.
Hold on a second, Dennis. Let Bill finish talking about the
all right.
best
so let me get
solo.
Yeah. So that
I
was
sidetracked us. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That was the assembled for radio promo copy that was sent. So in Germany, they put out the best of Kiss solo albums. So you can see that here.
I've got that somewhere.
Oh, see, I don't have that. That's the one I was talking about. So that's the best stuff. Okay.
So this is Ace Frehley's New York Groove, Rip It Out, Speeding Back to My Baby.
Okay.
Peter Criss.
I agree with that.
Yep. Peter Criss is You Matter to Me, Tossing and Turning, and it's supposed to be Hooked on Rock and Roll, but it says Hocked on Rock and Roll.
Hock Tui.
Fuck to it. And for anybody that doesn't know, Tossin' and Turnin' is a cover song.
It is a cover song. Yes,
absolutely.
I know. So is New York Groove. But anyway.
Everybody knows that. I just had to throw that in there. Make myself look more smarter than I merely is.
Smarter. So then for Gene Simmons, it's Radioactive, Mr. Make Believe, and See You in Your Dreams.
Okay.
And Paul is Tonight You Belong to Me, Move On, and Hold Me, Touch Me.
Why do they like Hold Me, Touch Me that much? I just don't. I don't get that.
It's real ballady.
It's
ain't quite right. That guitar work in there is fantastic. I think that song works. It works. I don't know, for some reason it talks to me. The thing
that's a different album. Talks to me on a different album.
This has something to do with OJ. I can't think of the way that they said it, so I'm going to say it wrong, but it's still going to be funny.
If it does
has a glove on it, lubricant.
You must put lube on it or something.
It was that kind of thing. If it don't fit, put lube on it. That was
this is probably a good place to call it a night.
I think so. As we're getting a little slap happy. We haven't had a show this long for.
I am marked safe from ever being around P. Diddy. Ever.
Dennis hadn't lasted this long on it forever.
What's that?
So if anybody if anybody wants my copy, or I'll send my YouTube. I made my list on YouTube and Spotify. So if you want a copy of that, shoot me a message on Facebook or Twitter, and I'll send you the link to both of those.
And I have mine also on Spotify, also in my order. So,
and I don't, because I don't use Spotify.
Because you're a ding dong.
Anyway, y'all visit agesofrock.com, check out past episodes and social media links, and until next time, peace out. Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.